On this trip, I stayed at the Embassy Suites here in Hot Springs. It is close to the downtown area, but it's not super duper close. It's about a 15-20 minute walk. It is connected to the convention center, which depending on why you're here, makes it very convenient. They did have a wonderful happy hour last night, very friendly bartenders, great snacks, and then of course a wonderful breakfast, which you always get at the Embassy Suites. It's a very old school Embassy Suites, very typical with the big atrium and several floors. It was a great stay, very comfortable night last night. So I'm going to walk down to the downtown area. I'd like to show you the promenade and some of the hot springs in its natural form this morning. One thing I forgot to mention is the Embassy Suites. If you're staying here in Hot Springs, it does charge for parking. It's $20 a night for the valet parking, and it's $10 a night to self-park. Many of the hotels right here, right close to the historic area, do charge for parking. And I'm going up through this neighborhood. Oh, and there's a kitty cat. Hello, kitty cat. This interesting building right here on the corner, Libby Memorial Physical Medicine Center. And you can see the mountain tower right up there on the hill. Let me go up one more block here. This is Laurel and Spring. Homes, I would imagine, right here on Reserve as we cut over. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and it's not dangerous. I don't feel unsafe, but it's just not this beautiful, well-kept walkway. This is the shortest distance walk to downtown Hot Springs from that hotel where you head up Laurel, up to Reserve, and then over. We'll come back the other way, and you can see what that walk is like as well. And I'll show you a couple of other hotels that you might be interested in staying at. So this very large historic structure here was once the Army-Navy Hospital. And it's a very imposing structure looking over Hot Springs. And on the side of it, it says it's the Hot Springs Rehabilitation Center. That's also in its past life. And so this descriptive sign here on Buck Ewing, not sure how to pronounce that, says that he came to this Army-Navy hospital in 1892 seeking medical advice, and after successful treatment, he hit a home run. So they must have done him a good job here. You can see the hot springs water coming out here through these water fountains throughout town, and I have caught people actually filling up major water jugs around here. In fact, there's a man, if you can see down at the distance, the second water fountain down the hill. He is filling up water jugs. So I'm going to take you on the Grand Promenade. I waited until the morning hours to do this walk because it was far too hot for me here in the afternoon. So it's called the Grand Promenade, and it goes behind Bathhouse Row, and you can see some of the hot springs as it comes down the hill through the mountain, entering the bathhouses. So let's see what it says here. Exploring Bathhouse Row. Pets are allowed, they just need to be on the leash. Respect the wildlife. And there's several trails actually here. Talks about the Grand Promenade, Tuffa Terrace Trail, Ortal Trail, Peak Trail goes all the way to the observation tower. That is a half a mile only. Carriage Road Trail and Arlington Lawn. It's a beautiful entrance here. And Central Avenue, where you can walk up Bathhouse Row, is right down there, just a block away. And you can see there's fountains all over that are steaming with the hot water. There's one down here, And then there's one here. We'll come by and check that out as well. All right, let's hit up the Grand Promenade. I highly recommend this in the morning hours. I just want you to see this here. It's about 7:30 in the morning. And I have this all to myself. And you can look right over here. There's the parking structure that I parked at yesterday. And this is running up behind all the historic bathhouses. Those of you interested in geology, this tells us that sandstone, this is sandstone with quartz veins. Many millions of years ago, sand particles were deposited. You can see that white vein there on the rock. It was the bottom of a shallow sea in this area. The white veins are quartz silica deposited by water which filled the cracks in the rocks eons ago. Now this is the base of this hill here. Now I was down at the base yesterday. Let me see which location I'm at exactly. I am standing right in between, the visitor center, and so this is right next to the Fordyce bathhouse. I don't know how to say it. So the visitor center is right here. So this is this Grand Promenade where we were standing yesterday with the grand entrance and the fountains. And then you can come up these grand steps and you can continue to hike right up through here. Now this sign, this probably leads you to all the mountain trails up here. This used to be the bandstand. This was the formal entrance to Hot Springs National Park. It says several pieces of the original architecture from 1890s are no longer present. They used to have this beautiful building here called the bandstand. It was at the level of the old carriage road from 1896 to 1951. The military band from the nearby Army and Navy General Hospitals performed concerts here. That would be amazing. So what you may not know is this is actually the first area to be reserved by the federal government for preservation and recreation, before they even thought of the national parks. In 1832, this area was preserved by the government. Now they called it Hot Springs Reservation at the time, and it wasn't until, now I've forgotten the date, I want to say the 1920s, I think it was officially designated as a national park. I'll have to double check that, and I'll put the year down on the screen because I've already forgotten. But in terms of history, this is the first. Now, I talked to you yesterday, I showed you the Waters Hotel, and I talked about how this would be one of the nicest places to stay. And on top, you can see there is a rooftop like bar or restaurant up there. I see all the lights overlooking the area. Now while I'm here, this is the beginning of the Tuffa Terrace Trail. Now I'm going to finish the promenade and maybe I can come back on that trail because it looks like it kind of loops around and connects to the promenade. Now this morning I'm feeling fantastic. It was way too hot yesterday afternoon, but morning is definitely the time to come and see this area. So again, beautiful promenade. And you can see one of the trails right here connecting back to the promenade. So I almost missed this, but right by this brick wall, there's steam coming up. I almost walked right by it. So let's go peek. Keep your eyes peeled for the steam. It's easy to miss. Ooh, you can feel it. It's basically coming down this trough. There's actually not a lot of water here. But look at the steam. I'm gonna stay on the trail. Looks like you can walk up there, but you know, have you heard that there's been quite an upsurge in ticks and Lyme disease? So I'm gonna be sure and stay on the paved and cleared trails. I don't wanna take any friends home. Section of the Promenade Trail, you can see up above, there's a lot of signs. You can see there's a paved trail right at the top of this grassy area. This seems to be a lookout. Let's come and see what's over here. Well, the plants are so tall, I can't see over it. Let's come right over here. A nice viewpoint of some of those historic buildings. So here it states that they proposed this idea of the Grand Promenade in 1931. Work began in 33, and by 1938 they had a gravel path, and then the brick pavers came in and completed in 1942. It stopped for 14 years due to lack of funding. And then in the 1950s, the final stretch of the promenade continued. And it is closed between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Now there's another little side path. I'm not sure where this goes. You could wander all over this area. I'm gonna stay on the main path for now. I don't wanna get off track. I'm easily distracted. Now this area, I walked right over this, near it, and I could feel the steam coming up, and it says that in this area, by this little park area, several feet beneath you lies a series of pipes that collect the water from the hot springs. Most of these green boxes that you can see, like, let's see, right here and here, you see the green boxes? Those surround the individual springs to protect their quality and connect them to the network of pipes. Some springs are hotter than others. All right. Here's an image from the late 1800s showing how the bathers used the springs before they were capped. The bathhouses were downhill from most of the springs, and the bathhouse owners complained that this was impacting their water quality, having these guys dipping in the waters before it made it to the bathhouses. I imagine there's quite a bit of conflict over these waters over the years. This is dedicated to Mather, who was the first director of the National Park Service. He developed a special bond with hot springs after visiting in 1915. He was a frequent visitor, and he helped convince Congress to convert Hot Springs Reservation into a national park in 1921. Thank you, Mather, for protecting this space. Now look at this. Look at this beautiful, is that? Oh, crepe myrtle. These are crepe myrtles. Beautiful. And look here. Beautiful water trickling. This is just to the side of the Grand Promenade. As soon as you pass the grassy area with all the green boxes, there's a beautiful viewpoint of the historic Arlington Hotel that's behind me. There is a nice little spring dripping out of the side of the rock by the path, so don't miss that. And if you look down below, the Arlington Park, apparently if you come up by the hillside, you can see pools of spring water here as well. See down there? So we'll go down there in a little bit. You can see water right here. And you can, right here is the beautiful We've made it to the other end of the Grand Promenade. Now I'll show you on a map where this is. It's just right up the street from the Arlington Hotel, and it's right where you go to turn in to drive to the Mountain View Tower. Now right across the street looks like a historic building called the Park Hotel, and let me show you. The sign here says that this will be opening in fall of 2025. So that would be another great place to stay because it'll be new. And then it's very conveniently located. You can park all up and down the street. Most people for the Arlington Hotel. There's a lot of parking here. And somewhere on this street was a fountain where I caught people filling up their water bottles, but I don't see it. Now I decided to backtrack just a little bit and take this little path down. I'm hoping it's going to take me to the Arlington Lawn so I can see some of the spring water pools there. And it looks like it is indeed. Look at all that water down there. I just met two lovely ladies who were road tripping across the country up here on this trail. So if you see this video, I just want to say that I hope you have a great trip. And shame on me for not asking your name. I apologize. Now look at this. Let's see. I think if you come here, you can see there's like a lookout. Oh, this is lovely. You can feel the heat from these springs. So this is the gazebo right here on Arlington Lawn. In fact, I walked right by here yesterday, and the Arlington Hotel is right here. The Wax Museum is right across the street. And you can see, look at this. The water is actually dripping on down here. And just a beautiful pond of the water. So if you go up these steps, right behind the gazebo, you can walk to an overlook that kind of looks over these ponds. It's really pretty. All right, folks, well, I just finished the Grand Promenade walk, and let me tell you, it's 9 a.m. and it is sweltering hot. It does not take long here in August to get unbearably hot here in Arkansas. So I'm gonna head back to the hotel. On the way, I'm gonna show you one other hotel that you might wanna consider staying at here in Hot Springs if you're interested. So hang on real quick and I'll be right back down that way. If you're sweltering hot like me and you're walking around Hot Springs, you can come in the visitor center for some air conditioning and a water fountain. I filled up my water bottle. Now they have those thermal water stations, but that is hot water that comes out of there. And at this point in time, I was looking for some cold water. So there's just a small tip for you if you have a water bottle around here. And we're gonna walk down through, I'm walking down Central. I'm gonna show you the Hotel Hot Springs. Look like another good place to stay. And you can tell this is a very historic district with lots of shops, restaurants, bars. It's a pretty fun area of town, a little quiet here in the morning, except for the vehicle traffic, of course. So I'll show you what else there is to see on my way back to my hotel. There's a pizza shop, trolley tour station right there. This is Central and Spring Avenue, soda pop and candy shop. And then here is the Bathhouse Dinner Theater. Now here's a little more about the baseball history here. Jay and Paul Dean, born in Arkansas, became the most famous brother duo in baseball history. See if I can get better lighting on that sign. There we go. Pitchers for the St. Louis Cardinals in 1934. They won a combined 49 games and led the Cardinals to victory in the World Series. Both often came to Hot Springs to coach at the town's nationally known baseball school. And so this talks about spring baseball. Before there was Phoenix for spring training, Hot Springs, Arkansas was the place to be for spring baseball. Now this place was really happening last night. You have a dinner theater here. There's a steakhouse. Bella Arti restaurant, a Copper Penny pub. I'm sure every one of these places is delicious. We're coming up on Bridge Street. This is an adorable little intersection here with several restaurants. Now we're gonna cross Bridge Street right over here. The hotel is right over there on that intersection. Now I did not go out to eat last night. I didn't explore the nightlife. I was zapped. The hot temperatures and the hot soaking in the hot springs actually left me completely exhausted last night. So I stayed in. There's definitely no shortage of loud vehicles coming through Hot Springs. But if you've been here before and if you stayed here, I would like you to let me know down in the comments, where is the place to eat for delicious food or great drinks? If you have a favorite place, I'd love to hear from you. Okay, this is my other recommendation. I almost stayed here. This is the Hotel Hot Springs. It's much more conveniently located than Embassy Suites. And the only reason I didn't stay there is just because I am not familiar with it and I am a Hilton Honors member. And I got a comparable rate at the Embassy Suites. Plus, I love Embassy Suites hot breakfast and happy hour. So I chose to stay there instead, but it's quite a bit farther away. The convention center is located right in between Hotel Hot Springs and Embassy Suites. So, let me cross the street safely here. So, this hotel is in a much more convenient location, just for the record. If you're coming to see the national park, this is closer than the Embassy Suites. And had pretty good ratings. It's not one of the major hotel chains, this Hotel Hot Springs. So just keep that in mind. All right, well, I am heading back. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Hot Springs National Park. This has been a learning experience for me, as I've never been here before. Lots of very interesting things to see. If I missed something, please let me know. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.